This is the Tony Doe Podcast.
My guest is a radio broadcaster and one of my personal favorite rappers. His name is Benjamin Kadiri. And the rap circuit, he's known as Bugzy. So Bugzy, why radio?
Why radio? Why radio? Of course, it's spontaneous. Radio is dynamic. Why not? Well, I was musically inclined. I record songs, and after a while, the music wasn't seeming to move at the pace that I wanted, and I never wanted to give the music up for anything else. So I decided to go into radio because it coincides with music. So together, music, radio. It's like the same thing.
Who's been your biggest influence on radio?
Well, first and foremost, the one that was closest to my big brother, my late elder brother, Steve the Slick Kadiri. Yes, because I watched him growing up from home, doing his DJing, and later on delving into radio. It became so exciting, and these were the things that I really wanted to do. I guess he, for one, was my biggest influence. And then a host of other influences. I won't take it away from the likes of J.A.J. They're numerous. Yes, numerous.
What kind of experiences, how would you describe the experiences you've had so far on radio?
Sort of an experience. I've had a whole lot of experience, especially having the privilege to have worked with various radio stations from different parts of the country. And of course, giving me the privilege of working with some magnificent colleagues over the years. And highs and lows. Of course, because just like with everything in life, it has its highs and its lows as well. Sometimes you're boxed into a corner because of some superiors you have, and it limits your aspirations and dreams because it's always different from what some of them want. So at a point in time, you might have to move on to a place where you have a broader platform or a more flexible platform to do the things that you really desire to do. Sometimes working under some superiors limits your true potentials and the things you actually can do. I guess those are the lows. For me, the highs has always been on radio, doing the things that I love to do and having the privilege to express myself as freely as I want to.
In your experience, what does it take to be a good radio broadcaster?
You have to have the passion for it. I'm not saying, of course, some people are just born with it. Some people are still born with the talent of broadcast, being on radio and being expressive on the microphone, fluency of speech, and a host of other things that come with it. Yes, I know some people are gifted with that, and so it comes naturally to them. But what I think is the foremost element to make a good broadcaster is passion. If you have a passion for the job, you can grow from any point you are to become one of the best in it. I've seen people, and I've been inspired by such. So to say, in my experience, if you ask again what it takes to be a good radio broadcaster, I'll tell you it's passion, basically.
What's your creative approach to your show prep?
Yeah, the creative approach is keeping your ear to everything that revolves around broadcast, from having to listen to trends. Then as much as you can, you have to read up stuff that are events that are taking place all over. And definitely you get inspired every now and then to be creative. You learn from some of these events and, of course, trends as well. And, of course, if you keep your focus on this path, you definitely be as creative as you can every day you approach your shows.
What does Bugzy think about podcasts?
Podcasts is a different version. I'll say it's a different aspect of radio. carries the same fundamentals as radio, except podcast has its own limitations. But I think it's the future, or be a part of it as well, because that's where the world is headed right now. Some people might just have to put every information they have or whatever it is they want to send across in podcast and just put it out there for anybody to pick up and grab and listen and watch.
Where do you see podcasts in the Nigerian context?
Yes, in Nigeria, just like a host of development, artificial intelligence, and the likes. So it's not as rampant or as dynamic as we have them elsewhere in the world. And some of the reasons are because we're caught short of some of the basic needs to access some of this art intelligence. So it has resulted to the fact that because most of the lines, some of the podcasts you tend to have to listen to are online. They are in the clouds out there, and just for the mere reasons of data, people are always conscious of their data because of how they envisage and see data here in Nigeria. Some people find it quite difficult to access some of the podcasts that are available because they think it's not data friendly, just like in listening to online radio as well here in Nigeria. But with a great deal of awareness like we're having right now, people are getting a hint of what it means to listen to podcasts and what podcasts are. But still, a few percentage of the lot needs more awareness on podcasts and how to key into the podcast technology.
What's your position on the role of the NBC, especially in the light of the Twitter ban and, of course, NSAS?
Well, the role of the NBC. If you ask me, I'll say the NBC in broadcast regulation in the country definitely have been playing their role in trying to regulate content and broadcast ethics. But so far in recent times, and considering the NSAS and Twitter ban, plus a host of regulations that have affected broadcast stations all over the country, I'll say the NBC have reduced the media's ability of criticizing the government, which is the characteristics of democracy. Yes, there should be a medium that has the privilege to, aside criticizing the government, but stand as an intermediary as such, especially in a democratic atmosphere like Nigeria, between the government and the people. So to a large extent, in recent times, it has been difficult, especially considering regulations and warnings and new directives being passed every now and then in the country. So I'll say the NBC so far played a very good role in trying to limit how information can reach the people so far via the media. The media has almost been gagged, in my opinion.
What's been your favorite fan experience on air?
Well, I don't think there's ever been one favorite radio experience with a fan. I've done a whole lot of things. I've enjoyed a whole lot of appraisals from fans, and I keep getting it. And I don't think I can pinpoint one particular experience with a fan that I'll consider favorite radio experience. There's been numerous.
What's been your worst fan experience on air?
I'll tell you that as much as you're loved by some, you can be hated by some as well. As much as you're a favorite of one, you might not be the favorite of the next. So It comes that way. I still can't pinpoint a worst experience with a fan. I think I've had some bad times as much as I've had some good times with fans.
Who's been your favorite radio guest?
My favorite radio guest. Come on. Who could that be? All right, I had a swell time once with DJ Jimmy Jat. And of course, it came from the fact that I knew him as a kid when he was running around carrying vinyls with my brother and going to parties. Eventually, years later, while I was on, I think it's 25 years in a business tour, I had the privilege to have him on radio during the tour. And I can say for certain that that has been my favorite radio guest.
Who's been your worst radio guest?
Worst radio guest? What's radio guest? It mean you want to put me on the spot? You want me to call out someone right here? And I don't think that'd be nice or fair or appropriate. So I'll just tell you, yes, I've had a couple of worst guests on radio. To pick out which is the worst. But still, I've had a couple of them, man. You're not going to put me on the spot, G.
If it weren't for radio, what would you rather do?
If I'll have to pick one over the other, I'll always rap. Because at the end of the day, you're still doing something. You're still broadcasting.
What are your pet peeves? Like 3 of the worst. Share with me 3 of your worst pet peeves.
3 worst pet peeves: procrastination, promotion of mediocrity, and the denial of truth.
So what's Bugzy listening to right now? Who are the artists and the songs on your playlist?
For now, that'll be J. Cole, Styles P, Wizkid from the home front, Damian Marley, Burna Boy. Okay, top 5 songs will be Blessed, Wizkid, Damian Marley, Burna Boy's Real Life, that one featured Stormzy, Styles P, Coolest OG Around, all-time classic for me, J. Cole, Interlude, and Bugzy, my song, Myself, Me, Myself, and I. Song titled, It's All Right.
So what legacy does Bugzy want to leave behind?
One of the best to ever do it in this business of broadcast. And hopefully make the difference eventually with music. And most of all, to be remembered as one of the coolest OGs that did it.
This episode of the Tony Doe Podcast features music from my guest, Bugzy.
She be only 16, possessing a banging body. Her backside full, chest with plenty bobby. And underage, looking like an overage. All our dreams na magazine front page. Spotlights and showing off on stage. Like a bird, she did try to get out her cage. Dear diary, scribble up a new page. Desire to soar the skies, enter a new phase. She is naive and he is just a dream killer. He fed her with lies until he put his stain in her. That na how fast he took away her innocence. Left her lonely and miserable ever since. For your mind, that na smart one, sharp guy, nonsense. Even Terminator get conscience. Dry your eyes, baby girl, don't cry. Keep your head up and look in my eyes. It's alright, so sit back and look at all that it took. I feel to write about 1,000,000 books, but instead I choose to put down rhymes and make music to blow your mind, right? Do your thing, sure. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing, sure. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing, mama. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing, mommy. Do your thing, it's alright. He is smart, intelligent, handsome and physical. A graduate of first class academical. He's 25 with a whole lot of prospects. With no job, living in the ghetto projects. Balling with the pay bills and they stacking up. Gaio fold credentials and pack him up. Decide to hit the streets and just jack him up. Like they owe him and they should start paying up. But on the real, the system trying to set him up. Take control of his mind and then mess him up. Every ghetto youth gets a similar story, man, of how the system they cloud glory. As a smart type, got your brace up. As a true ghetto youth, pick your brains up. Put the pieces to the puzzles in the brainstorm. We go survive the system not to brainwash.
As I sit back and look at all that it took, I feel to write about a million books, but instead I choose to put down rhymes and make music to blow your mind, right? Do your thing, Gayo. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing, Gayo. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing, Papa. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing, Papi. Do your thing, it's alright.
I'm only M, keep guessing. The B to the U to the GZY, yeah, keep spelling. You can tell by the flow, say there's no limits. This is hip-hop, pure beats, pure lyrics. I put my heart, I put my soul, all in it. This not real talk, baby, this is no gimmick. Out the vocal booth, I see UZO. Whoever thinks say we said we'll be CEOs, making hits in our own studio, doing videos and ripping more shows, selling out concerts and bagging more dough. VIP lounge surrounded by plenty hoes. Pain plus work equals success. So you go through stress to release stress. Brace yourself, continue to try. Keep your head up and look in my eyes, it's alright.
As I sit back and look at all that it took, I feel to write about a million books, but instead I choose to put down rhymes and make music to blow your mind, right?
Do your thing, Bugzy. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing, Bugzy. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing, Bugzy. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing, Bugzy. Do your thing, it's alright.
Keep your head up high. Ooh, your troubles won't last away. We're gonna make it strong. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh.
If you're wondering who came up with my podcast theme music,
I'm pretty sure it's Techzilla.
that's right, and you can find him on social media, links in the show notes. Subscribe to the Tony Doe Podcast wherever it is you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you like what you hear, do buy me a coffee. The link is in the show notes. Thank you for listening.